in order to move up the food chain in running a business or selling, and those two things are directly related. If you don't have any revenue, you got no business, right? It's going to be gone soon. You need to move your money tolerance up. Hi, I'm Jason Kanigan, president of Sales on Fire. We're going to follow up with the topic I started talking about yesterday, which is money tolerance. And I want to take a little more time and explain a bit about the background of the concept and how it's affecting you, okay? A lot of people are going to say, Jason, I just want to sell stuff and make some money. You got to understand that in order to sell, selling is conceptual. It's not technical. It's not a 5-step process or something like that. It has a lot to do with what's going on up here in your head and how you think and feel about yourself. And money tolerance is a great sort of thermometer reading of how you're feeling and how you conceptualize yourself, okay? Now, I gotta knock you a little bit here. I gotta disturb you by saying that the story that you tell about yourself is pure baloney, okay? I'm a single mom who suffered and blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not saying those things haven't happened to you, okay? Those bad things in your life. I'm saying how you react to them is the truth for you. Okay, you can take two people, put them through the same thing in like Auschwitz, for example, and they come out with completely different perceptions on what happened and what it meant to them. Okay, so I see a lot of this, right? Because it's just, I guess, part of human nature. People holding on desperately to this idea of themselves, and it's not helping you. It's really not helping you. So let me give you an example. Ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? And take a moment, maybe pause this video and do it. And you're going to come up with a lot of roles, like I'm a homemaker, or I'm a single dad, or I'm a sales guy, or I'm a company president, or something like that, right? I'm a guy who mows lawns for a living, okay? This belief, and it's a fake thing, it is an utterly fake story you are telling yourself, is a box that you are putting yourself in. And money tolerance is like a kind of a tag, or again, a thermometer reading that's attached to that story that you're telling yourself. And I know this is upsetting. It's not fun to hear, right? Like, we accept these things as fact, and we hold on to them so desperately for years. And it's hard to give them up, I know. But give it a chance and see what happens, okay? Because if your money tolerance is low, i.e., I'm a poor person, I come from a poor family, okay? I hear that as whining, actually. All right, it's an irritation to me when I hear someone say something like that, okay? Because it's fake. It's just totally fake. And I couldn't possibly do that, or I couldn't do what you do. Yeah, you could. You could. Nothing I do, for example, is like out of this world, okay? Like, it occurred to me, I have the curse of knowledge, and I could put together a business plan in like 2 hours, a really good, effective one. Like, who could do that? Okay, you could, if you had the same experience and like interest level and education as I do. You could. There's nothing to stop you, okay? It's not like I have a third arm or a third eye or something like that makes me do that. It's just a skill, like carpentry. But if you block yourself off from that with the bullshit story you're telling yourself, oh, I'm poor and I can't do this and I can't do that. We've always been this way. We're from poor Appalachian coal miners or something. Like, come on. You have the chance right now to stop doing everything that has created you up to this point and pick a new direction and start taking action on it and going in that direction, that new direction. You can start telling a new story about yourself at any time, and you can give me the finger and turn this video off, and it won't change a darn thing because what I said is true, okay? It is just absolutely true. Now, back to money tolerance here, okay? If you have a belief, say you've sold cell phones in a store in the mall for years, right? And you have a belief about that. Your money tolerance is going to actually be pretty low because you're used to selling things for like $200 or $400 price tags or $50 a month or whatever it is, okay? That's really low. And you might even do a good volume of that, but that's still a pretty low level, few $1,000s a month revenue stream that you're generating for the store in the mall. for the cell phone manufacturers, for the network, okay? And you get paid a tiny portion of that, which is why you get paid a tiny portion of that. You're playing in a small field. Jason, everybody can't play in the big fields or the big leagues. Well, yeah, but you know what? The field up there is wide open because there's not that many people with the money tolerance and the guts to go do something about it because they're being held back by these limiting beliefs of the baloney stories they're telling themselves. Don't be one of those people who are held back. Go up there and get it. It's not hard. But if you believe I'm a homemaker and I'm a mom and I stay at home and I do nothing and I'm just puttering around in this internet marketing business or whatever it is that you're doing, don't be surprised when you're not making any money. Don't, because your money tolerance is crap. And again, it's okay to be in that role if that's what you've deliberately chosen and that's what you want. But then you have to be aware, okay, I'm not going to make a lot of money doing this. Don't be surprised that when you start asking questions about $2,500 or $6,000 high-ticket sales or something like that, all right, that you have a problem seeing yourself doing it, and then you don't take action on it. Don't be shocked if you're in that situation. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying it to illuminate it for you so that you understand why some guy who's been selling cell phones in the mall cannot jump most of the time to selling luxury cars for $80,000, $100,000. Can't do it because his money tolerance is down here at that $500 level. Ooh, that's a lot of money. Remember yesterday I asked you to answer that question for yourself. What's a lot of money? Today I'm asking you to ask yourself, who am I? And what comes back? If you were on a desert island with no one around you to define you or tell you what to do or demand anything from you, like, you gotta be a mom now, okay? Who would you be? Like, if I never had to work again, for example, okay? If I had enough money, I never had to work again, I would be so comfortable because I would know what to do with my time. I know what I want to do when work's not a factor. Do you? I find a lot of people don't. They define themselves by their job. Again, a role with money tolerance attached to it. In order to move up the food chain in running a business or selling, and those two things are directly related. If you don't have any revenue, you got no business, right? It's going to be gone soon. You need to move your money tolerance up. Now, I've already shared the story about why I was accidentally quite fortunate. Now, I had a pretty good money tolerance just growing up. You know, nobody was really worried about anything. Money came and went. I went and got jobs as a kid. I was a dishwasher. I was a busboy. I was a host at a restaurant. I worked a lot in restaurants. I worked 8 years in restaurants, right? But if my money tolerance was really down there, it always bugged me that I was doing those jobs. Like, I did them and I was really good at it and I was a waiter and like, it just bugged me though that I had to do that for a living because I knew that I wanted to do other things. The way I saw myself conceptually was bigger than these little jobs, okay, where I was making $6.50 an hour, I guess, in the first role that I had back in the early 90s. Right? I think it was actually $5.50 or $5.75 an hour. But if I accepted that, I would still be working in restaurants. I might be a restaurant manager or something like that. I tapped out at maybe $40,000 a year or something like that. Okay. But conceptually, I didn't see myself that way. So I went and got the education and I committed, and it was hell. It was hell taking 2 years of 10 and 11 courses a term. People say, oh, it couldn't have been full university courses. They were. We worked our asses off. There was a 40% failure rate. And I had been to a university the previous year, so I know exactly what it was. And then I took another year, combined all those credits, and finished my business degree after that. This is 20 years ago now, okay? Because I conceptually saw myself as somebody who deserved more. And so how do you see yourself? Let's come back to money tolerance again. What size of problems are you interested in solving? And what is the perception of your target market to the value of those problems, right? Like, we all know photographers who make a little money and photographers who make a lot of money per shoot. Why is that, right? Why is that? Why is somebody charging $1,200 for a wedding and somebody charging $12,000 in that field? Why? It's the right kind of matchup, you see. But the person who thinks of themselves as, well, I'm just a little photographer and I'm struggling and all that, is never going to ask for $12,000. That's money tolerance. So what can you do to work on your money tolerance? Well, first of all, be aware of where you're at. Like, what's my starting point here? And that, as I said, comes from the question of what is a lot of money and the question of who am I? Okay? And realizing that you have full control over the answers to both those things. All right? And we know that if you tell yourself something long enough, you'll start to believe it, because all of it is a baloney story. All of it. Set the target. Who do I want to be? Like, I'm going through a thing right now where I'm changing. I'm getting back to a lot of who I was. Okay? And that means I'm dressing differently. I'm thinking in terms of money differently. I'm thinking about different actions that I want to take, places I want to go, people I want to see. These are all things that are rotating around money tolerance, okay? That I have a different target market that I'm going after. These are all things that are around the concept of who am I, which affects money tolerance quite heavily. Another question you can ask yourself that will help with your money tolerance is, what's fun? What's fun for you that you can charge others for? Okay? Because once you know what that is, you're automatically going to be confident about it and enthusiastic about it, which really helps with selling. I don't mean fake enthusiasm, I mean legitimate, I love this enthusiasm, okay, which is undeniable. Everybody sees it and recognizes it for its authenticity. So do that, and then think about, well, what would I charge if I didn't care whether they bought or not? Considering, and I want you to more than double what you've been charging before. In fact, if I were in your shoes, I would multiply it by a factor of 4 or 5, because that way you can get rid of most of the people who you were working with before who were a pain in the butt and still make the same amount or more, okay, with fewer clients. That's a very good multiplier, and now you're free to do more marketing and do more sorting and find those great customers that are a wonderful fit. But you've got to get this money tolerance thing under control rather than just haphazardly letting it be set for you by default, by accident. All right, this is really critically important, and it is why people can't sell certain things. Like, they get into a situation where it sounds good, the instructions are given to them, the fulfillment is somebody else's issue, and it's a high quality thing. So all they have to do is go sell the thing, but they can't because the price tag is higher than their money tolerance. And so what will happen is they will find ways to screw the sale up, unconscious ways. And they will go and behave in a certain way that will result in the sale tanking. And they will do this over and over again because conceptually they don't see themselves as the person who is capable of making that kind of sale. So who do you have to be in order to be the kind of person who makes that level of sale that you're looking for? Ask yourself that, and then lay out the roadmap to, how am I going to become that person? What do I have to learn? Who do I have to be around? Because all of it is a BS story, right? It's all a BS story, all of it. Who you are, where you live, whatever you do. Either you fell into it by accident, which is very common, or you made some bad choices, some uninformed choices, if you're not happy with where you're at. And if you do want to be happy with where you're at, make deliberate choices to take action in that direction. This is Jason Kanigan from Sales on Fire. I hope, again, this has been alarming for you, and I hope you take action on your money tolerance. Thanks for watching.